then I'll call you to
Okay.
speak, okay? So,
Okay. That's
all right.
that's fine. I could abbreviate it. A lot of it, it seems like a lot of slides, but it's really just to give visuals. I don't, it's not like a lot of words. Ready.
All right. Welcome. Good morning, everyone. Antoine Thompson, Greater Washington Region Clean Cities Coalition. Thank you all for joining. If you're watching us on one of the virtual platforms, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, thank you for joining us. We are a nonprofit organization. We've been around 32 years, and we focus a lot on clean energy, clean transportation, and how we all can work together to create a safer and healthier environment, especially from the transportation sector. So thank you all for joining us today. We have a great group of speakers today. Today, we'll be able to hear from three different speakers, but we'll also give our attendees a chance to give, not everyone, but a few of them, a chance to give some updates on things that are happening with their organization, their business, or them as an individual as well. As always, we have some announcements. So just a few announcements I would like to mention. On May 13th, uh, not May 13th, actually, yeah, coming up May 10th, I think it is, May 10th, which is this Saturday, there's going to be the Eco Festival, which will be in Alexandria, Virginia. So please come on out. Eco City Festival will have some vehicles, some information tables in Alexandria, Virginia. There will also be coming up as well. We'll have our advisory board will be on Tuesday. For those of you on our advisory board for the Baltimore office, if you missed it, we had an amazing opening reception 2 months ago in Baltimore. An awesome one as well in DC. So we've been really, really busy. On May 21st, we're going to have a job fair. So I know we have a number of you who are hiring. We do have a job fair coming up in DC at our office building on the first floor. We anticipate anywhere between 300 to 500 job seekers there or more. So that will be on May 21st from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you're hiring, if you're doing any training, uh, sign up today. There are a lot of folks who are looking for work, and so our event will be on um, May 21st from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Is whether it's white collar, blue collar, green collar, sustainability, whatever. We're trying to get as many people working. But we'll also have a number of good training programs for alternative fuel careers, sustainability careers, and just all different type of jobs. The other thing I'd like to mention on June 3rd, we are going to have a in-person event that will take place this will also take place at 899 North Capitol Street. We're going to have a forum on low carbon fuels for airports. So we've been working on this project, kicking off a new initiative to look at how we can get more of the airports in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area to use low carbon fuels, especially um, either biodiesel or ethanol and other low carbon fuels for the airplanes and some of the cargo vehicles that they have at the airports. So we're going to have that again. That's June 3rd. Registration will be open hopefully by tomorrow. And so we're looking forward to the June 3rd roundtable with airports. I didn't even realize there were so many airports. I knew there were a lot, but there are over 40 airports in our region. 40, because there's so many of these smaller airports. They pollute as well. So looking forward to that. The other thing I wanted to mention to you, which is really important as well, on um, June 12th. June 12th, our next industry meeting will be hybrid, meaning it'll be in person at 899, and we will also have an internet access as well. It will focus on electrification. That session will. So fleet electrification. So it will run from 10 a.m. to noon, and we'll wrap up with some nice food and refreshments and networking. So from 10 to noon, we'll have 3 panels for that. So some of you may get tapped to be on a couple of the panels for that event. So that will be June 12th. Fleet electrification will be the focus of the next industry meeting. We will be looking to move a couple of the other industry meetings around that every month, but for the rest of the year, every other month will be at either our office or a fleet office for the rest of the year. We will keep the same date and time, but the sessions will be uh, um, every other month. It will be virtual, and the opposite month it will be at either our office or a fleet office for the foreseeable future. So that way you all get a chance to see some of the different fleet offices, some of the different things that they are doing, et cetera. And I had the awesome opportunity yesterday to visit the fleet office of Prince George's community, Prince George's County fleet, and that was a great meeting. So about that. Last couple of things, Environmental Justice Summit at Howard University will take place on June 17th. So make sure that you come out for that. We have an amazing group of speakers for that event. We will have a Baltimore Fleet listening session. So for all those who are in the communities close to Baltimore, that will be in Baltimore on June 25th. So that should be exciting. We also have the Ron Flowers, GWR Ron Flowers golf tournament coming up July 9th. So I see a lot of folks on here. None of you have registered yet. Most of you do not. So we need you to register. We also need help with people um, sponsoring a hole, sponsoring the luncheon. We need birdie sponsors, etc. So definitely need some hole sponsors, and so we need some of you to register, and we need some of you to have teams too. All right, we're going to have a vehicle display. We're going to have a wine tasting as well. We'll have lunch as well. So we're also going to have a golf clinic too. So if you don't play golf well, you've been wanting to learn, or you need to improve, there will be a golf clinic, wine tasting, and there'll be lunch as well. And of course, there'll be the tournament, and we'll have a vehicle display. You'll be able to drive some vehicles as well, some really cool vehicles too. So save that July 9th. Last thing I want to mention is October 23rd is the Greater Washington Region Clean Cities Annual Conference, which will be at Martin's Crosswinds as well. I forgot to mention one other announcement. We are wrapping up our 2024 report. Many of you have done some amazing things. We'll put this in the chat for you. Any activities that your company or institution has done, we'd like to include some of those activities, some of those investments, trainings, workshops, vehicles, et cetera, in our annual report. We did get an extension to collect more data from people so we can share that with the U.S. Department of Energy. And so please submit your reports and data by May 12th, and I'll make sure we put that in the chat as well. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first speaker. for today, who is Dorothy Morrison, who is doing some amazing work. Prince George's Public Schools with experience across government, nonprofit, and private sectors. Dorothy leads transformative environmental strategy at one of the nation's largest school systems. She will share her work on sustainability and education, infrastructure planning, interagency collaboration in the Prince George's County Public Schools, some of the good work they're doing around their climate action plan. Without further ado, Dorothy, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Antoine, and good morning to everyone on this panel, as well as those of you out there. So I'm Dorothy Morrison, like Antoine said, the director for the Department of Sustainability and Resiliency. But before I get into my presentation, just wanted to give you, I guess, a little introduction to Prince George's County Public Schools. We are one of 20 largest school systems in the nation, the second largest in Maryland. We have approximately 130,000 students, 22,000 employees, and over 230 educational and administrative facilities. Next slide, please. So I'm not sure what's writing across the screen. What was that? Did you all see
Please
that?
pause. Pause.
What happened?
I'm just trying to clear out. I'm not sure, but let's do this again. Okay, Dorothy.
All right, so just wanted okay, about the sustainability drivers. This presentation is pretty much just going to give you an overview of our climate action plan, which is one of the key drivers of our sustainability effort. And have we been kind of hacked or something? Do you all see those visuals on there? Should I continue or do I stop?
Yeah, someone's in there, and you have to take the control. Somebody must have taken control. You can't share that, Kim.
Bye.
Let me, are you the only one on, Kim? Let me log
Yes,
out.
I removed, I was able to find who it was, but
Yeah, you
You still
probably
want
you
me to
can.
pause or do you want me to start?
No, you
Continue.
can go, but Kim, you're gonna have to make sure that or Diane, someone's gonna have to make sure it's locked so that they can't. I don't know how they're able to keep writing on it.
Interesting technology these days, you know. So just real quick, so in terms of what's driving our sustainability efforts in Prince George's County Public Schools, globally, there's the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. There are federal targets, and Maryland, the state of Maryland, is very progressive when it comes to climate action as well as sustainability. At a county level, Prince George's County has a climate action plan. And the school system, which is a subset of the county and the state of Maryland, has come up with its own climate action plan commitments. Next slide, please. And just to kind of give you a quick background on how the plan came about. I believe it was March in 2021. The Prince George's County Board of Education established the Climate Action Plan Interdisciplinary Focus Group. It was an interdisciplinary focus group of people of about, I want to say, this was before my time, but it was in the neighborhood of about maybe 20, 25 folks that came together to work on the Climate Action Plan. And they came up with 8 priority areas, priority recommendations. And out of those 8 priority recommendations, we have 58 actions. And they obviously cross the board from operational actions to mitigation actions to reduce our carbon footprints, as well as adaptation. So how we as a school system adapt to the impacts of climate change. The following year, April 2022, the board did formally approve the Climate Action Plan, which is pretty much our roadmap to move the work forward. Now, the following year, which is October 2023, was when I came on board and was appointed to be the director for the Department of Sustainability and Resilience, which is my current role. And our office is responsible for championing the continued implementation of the Climate Action Plan. Next slide. And here, I'll just kind of briefly run through it. Again, I mentioned 8 priority areas. They include supporting environmental justice through climate curriculum, training, and partnerships, reducing our carbon footprints in our buildings, committing to renewable energy sources for a net zero future, and committing to low carbon school transportation, reducing our food waste and growing climate friendly food, committing to sustainable materials management and procurement, committing to climate resilient land management, and leading by example to support transformational change. For the purposes of this meeting, I'm only going to focus on the 3 areas that are highlighted in, I guess that's orange, depending on where you sit and how the slide is coming across. So next slide, I'm just going to briefly just elaborate a little bit more on these 3 areas. So with regards to reducing our carbon footprint in our buildings, we're doing a bunch of things. We have a policy in place that all new construction has to be built to LEED standard. And we are constructing building energy audits so that we can identify where we are wasting energy or spending too much on energy, and that would help inform our energy management plan. Some of the things that we are involved in is retrofitting our lighting. So we use the LED lighting, which I'm sure most people know consumes way less energy than the traditional bulbs. Our heating and cooling system, we are upgrading those. We are also weatherizing our buildings so we don't have leaky buildings. And we have, right now, I think we have about 16 or 18 administrative buildings. Now that's a lot. Even though we are a large school system, we don't need to have that many. So one of the ways we are trying to conserve energy is to consolidate those buildings into 1 or 2 administrative central offices. So we're in that process currently. Next slide, please. So I thought I'd share these visuals of Ellen Ochoa. Ellen Ochoa is one of our newest buildings that was constructed. I believe it came online this academic school year, so that would have been July 2024. And so I have these 2 photos of the library and the cafeteria. And what I wanted to show here is the amount of lighting that's coming into the building, right? It's not a whole lot of walls, there's a lot of windows. So this allows natural daylight to come in. And the benefits of that is that obviously, you know, energy savings, because if we harvest daylight energy, we don't have to turn on artificial lighting. And plus it's healthier for students. Studies show that students perform better in a well-lit environment. So we're reducing our energy consumption by harvesting our natural daylight. Next slide. Again, Ellen Ochoa. So in addition to the inside of the building gets its energy from geothermal as well as rooftops. So this is one of our examples of a net zero building. And moving forward, as we build new schools, that is the goal. As long as we have the land space, we plan to have geothermal as well as solar. Additionally, additionally, we have EV charging ready so that staff and others could utilize the chargers to charge their vehicles during the day. We also are partnering with the utility company to take advantage of community solar. So that's a project that we're currently working on as well. Next slide. Okay. And decarbonizing our school buses. So we have, I believe it's 8 million to date in grant awards for the purchase of 2021 electric school buses. So that's what we currently have now. There are some other jurisdictions like Montgomery County that have a much greater fleet, but we have 20, we're taking it slow. We have 21 electric school buses. And we have anticipated funding of about 3.5 million state grant that would afford us 8 additional buses. Now, just wanted to note here that because of some things happening at the federal level, because a lot of these grants were available at the federal level, there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding those federal grants. So we are definitely relying heavily on the state support. So the Maryland Energy Administration is one of the state agencies that has been a huge partner in helping us, supporting us in our decarbonization efforts. So we're also in the design phase of electric vehicle charging bus lot, and this is in Bowie, Maryland. And we are also using it as a pilot microgrid project which will be powered by solar. And yeah, so that's kind of exciting. We're hoping it will charge about 50 buses because that is a problem for us, which is the charging. I think we have right now only mobile chargers. So the microgrid project at the Mullican bus lot will help us to have more charging for buses. And then the next one hopefully will be in Greenbelt, Maryland. We are also working with the County Parks and Recreation to increase biking spaces to support transit-oriented development. And it's, again, for health reasons. It's healthy for the students to be able to walk to school, obviously, if you're within a mile or two. So we are also looking at those options to not have kids who are maybe within a few yards of the school have to get into a bus. That doesn't make any sense. So, and I think that is probably it. Is there another slide that is after this? So that's it in a nutshell. Obviously, my contact information is on here, and I guess GWRCCC, I should say GWRC cubed, could make that available. Happy to answer any questions. I welcome you to visit our page to learn more about what we're doing.
All right, thank you. Let us, because we had a couple little interruptions here, we're going to keep moving along. We'll come back to you in a few minutes. But Kim or Dane, can you make sure that the screenwriting feature and screen sharing feature is disabled in the settings, please? So next thing, I'd like to go to our next speaker. We will go to, give me 1 second. All right. Datin Adwal, who's founder and CEO of Aid Solar, also part of Fin EV, brings a human-centered approach to go-to-market strategy, working with climate-focused startups to implement practical technologies and scale ideas that make an impact with a deep understanding of startup dynamics and clean energy trends. Datin offers actionable insights for mission-driven entrepreneurs navigating the energy transition, and great partner with Fin EV as well. They're doing they're EV charging agnostic as well. Just was on a panel with Nick, one of his partners in the industry as well. So Datin, the floor is yours. Thank you for being here, and sorry for this craziness we got going on. Thank you.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, it's all right. And Thank you for having me. We're very excited to be part of GWR CCC and today get the opportunity to share with the folks some exciting things that are happening within the greater DC area as well as nationally. So if we can share the first slide.
And did you send that in advance?
Yes. There was I sent it in two formats, either a PDF or the Google Drive link.
I'm sorry, sir. I never received it.
Oh, that's all right. Why don't can I request, and then I'll share my screen.
Wait, mm.
All right. Well, while that goes on, well, what I wanted to talk today about is FinEv and what we're doing. So FinEv, what we've been trying to do is figure out how to unlock capital for small businesses to be able to transition their fleet into electric vehicles. So what that means is that we realize that banks don't really have the ability to accurately underwrite. Let's see here, perfect. Don't have the ability to accurately underwrite electric vehicles. And oftentimes will end up denying small businesses access to capital for them to make that transition. So what we've done is built FinEv, which allows us to specifically focus on helping finance electric vehicles for small fleets, for small businesses. So we got our first tranche of funding. We were able to secure $1 million for DC specific funding to help small businesses in the greater DC area transition to electric vehicles. So that means small businesses, anything from a flower shop to pharmacies that are doing home delivery. We found through our current customer set that small businesses are able to save anywhere from $500 to $1,500 a month by transitioning their delivery vehicles from gas to an EV. And what that means is that is $1,500 that goes back into the pocket of business owners. And we're flexible in the type of vehicles that we're considering. That could be anything from a Ford Transit to if you have a small pharmacy and your personal vehicle is the delivery vehicle for the pharmacy, we can help underwrite that transition as well. That is essentially what we've been built to do. We're excited. I know Antoine was on the panel with Nick earlier this week. And the big thing that kept coming up when it comes to helping transition a lot of these small businesses is access to capital. And so what we've been doing is it's a purpose-built company to help finance and underwrite the vehicle transition to electric vehicles. But what we've also done as a company is we're hoping to help democratize this whole process. And what that means is we are looking to make this as equitable as possible, and make our funding as equitable as possible. So what we've done is partnered with Honeycomb, which is a crowd raising platform, to be able to raise a SAFE, which is a convertible note. So what we're doing as part of this is I'm going to just put this in the chat, if I can find the Zoom chat here. Where is it? Give me 1 second. In the chat, I'm putting a link to the funding campaign. So you have the ability to directly contribute to FinEv as we look to help this transition. We know that not everybody has, I'm going to pick on you, Mike, because I was on the meeting last time, but not everyone has a company like Mike's that is able to contribute specifically to I guess to small businesses or to help fundraise. So that's why we've created this fundraising campaign using a crowdsource crowdfunding platform called Honeycomb to be able to give people the ability to invest in FinEv. And we'll take that capital and we'll help distribute it and fund these loans for our customers. And then I'm going to go back to our slide here. 1 second. But we know that fundraising is only one part of it, or being able to have access to capital is one part of it. So we've also partnered with different technology companies to be able to help with route planning. So one of the big fears of electric vehicles is, where do I charge one, and is this going to last me throughout the day? So we have different partnerships. One is called Encode, which we can look at your current fleet, what your route is, and then help determine the right electric vehicle for you. Also help determine what types of chargers make sense for you, whether that's for you to install at a commercial site or for you to install at home to be able to charge these vehicles overnight. We have the ability throughout our engagement to be able to help give you that insight. So not only are we able to finance that electric vehicle for you, but we can give you access to chargers as well as help you determine the right vehicle based on the routes that you service. I want to end quickly by just giving a brief example. We work with a company called Rife International, and what they were looking to do is understand what is the best electric work van for them. So we were able to go and give them a set of 4 vehicles, give them the insight on the range that's available to each vehicle, the payload size, how much it is pre-incentive, and whether it's a good choice for them or not. Along with that, we're also able to give them a TCO analysis of, hey, here is a gas-powered vehicle. That worked. Here's a gas-powered vehicle, and how much is it to run versus an electric vehicle. And so being able to see over the span of 1 year, companies are able to save $10,000 to $15,000 based on the different vehicles that they choose. So this is analysis that will work with you to determine. Will also help with, I'm just going to use this eraser. Yeah, there it works.
Can you just
identify. I'm sorry, was that a statement?
Yes, can you just share from your version and just I can't control this.
Oh, yes.
Can you just share from your version and just remove it?
Yes. This is the last slide anyways. So, what we're also able to do is identify different incentives that might be available to you. So not only are you able to get the $7,500 tax credit, but also maybe an EV rebate from the state of Maryland, which is $5,000. So now we're looking at $12,000 or $13,500 off a vehicle, as well as help with the charging infrastructure, to really make this as economical as possible. So what makes us unique versus other banks would be we factor in the tax credit as well as any other local incentive rebate into our underwriting decision, which allows us to give you the best rate out there. And that is truly the value that we're looking to provide for our customers. If you have any questions, my name is Datun, like the tune that's stuck in your head. You can reach me at datun@finev.co or Antoine. We're well linked. So if you're a small business owner and you're considering either adding an electric vehicle to your fleet or transitioning from a gas vehicle to an electric vehicle, and you need to discuss funding or the type of vehicle, we're here to help provide that guidance. And as part of the GWR-CCC coalition, we'll be here throughout our monthly meetings. That's it. Thank you all.
Thank you. Well, sit tight. I know we got some questions for you and for Dorothy. Let me go to Amanda really quickly and have her share some information. Amanda leads Maryland Department of Transportation Zero Emission Vehicle Infrastructure Plan. She will discuss, and also a former Clean Cities leader for the state of Maryland as well. And she will discuss progress and future goals of the EV network expansion. She needs some community engagement and survey opportunities. She wants some feedback. She needs your participation. Amanda, the floor is yours. Thank you for being here. I know you've been really busy today.
Thanks, Antoine. I feel like you covered it all. I don't even know if I need to speak. But good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me join this meeting. Like Antoine said, I work out of the Secretary's office at the Maryland Department of Transportation. I specifically focus on making sure that our zero emission vehicle infrastructure planning is right. Next slide, please. I just wanted to give an overview of one of the major planning efforts underway. It's called the Zero Emission Vehicle Infrastructure Plan, also known as the ZEVIP. And some background context is, last year, the Moore-Miller administration issued a climate executive order that directed MDOT to develop sort of the first of its kind statewide zero emission infrastructure plan for Maryland. And really the purpose is to understand the amount of charging and fueling infrastructure needed to support the growth of zero emission vehicles that we anticipate in the state. And then sort of the second part of it is understand how we as a state, in coordination with our local government partners, our federal partners, and then our private industry partners, so you all, so can sort of make sure that we get there with infrastructure deployment. So some of the key driving factors of the ZEVIP are climate and clean cars goals in the state, and this is through statute, so the Climate Solutions Now Act, which you may have heard of, and then also through regulation, so Advanced Clean Cars 2 and Advanced Clean Trucks. Maryland also has a goal of 1.1 million registered electric vehicles by 2031. So these are sort of the benchmarks for us to understand if we, want to meet these goals and anticipate X number of zero emission vehicles on the road by 2031 and 2035. What is the infrastructure needed? So, of course, there's also a curveball now, which is sort of on the federal landscape, some of the uncertainty in funding and policy support. So something that we've had to do with ZEVIP so far is sort of build in a little scenario analysis, sort of account for this federal uncertainty and really understand, again, the gap that the state and its partners will need to fill to ensure ZEV drivers and fleet operators in the state have range confidence. So the first version of this plan will focus primarily on light-duty zero-emission vehicles, but we will also include discussion on medium heavy-duty vehicles. And part of why we are not including as much of medium and heavy-duty vehicles just yet is because our partners at the Department of Environment are currently conducting a clean trucking needs assessment. So that will sort of give us some of the data we need to understand where Maryland needs to get to, and that can be included in our second iteration of this plan. But sort of the real call to and the ZVIP is anticipated to be published in September this year. But really the call to action for you all is right now we have some suitability analysis underway. Sort of the image on the right is an example of some of this data work we're doing, but you know, the data work is only like so important without but we need your input as well from your experience being, you know, in industry out in the field. So this is why we have a community stakeholder survey out right now. Next slide, please. So we launched this survey about a week or two ago now. So the audience we're hoping to hear from are current or future EV drivers or fleet owners, operators. So it doesn't matter if you have EVs in your fleet right now or you're planning to. Also, if you, I mean, I don't know if you would be part of this meeting if you're not interested in EVs at all, but we're also looking for that perspective as well as sort of your industry perspective. So it's about a 10-minute survey. We would love to get your feedback, and you can sort of access the survey through either the website on the screen or through this QR code on the screen. The survey is open through June 13th. And you may have seen a survey we issued last year around the same time of year. That also sought to understand some charging needs and preferences. So this sort of builds off of that last survey, and the results will really help continue to shape this plan, because we want to make sure that it actually reflects sort of the needs of those who are working and living in Maryland. So please consider taking the survey and sharing widely with your networks. And if you have any questions, I think the next slide has my email address. So please feel free to reach out. Happy to set up a little one-on-one with you guys. So yeah, thanks, Antoine and team. Okay, I see the QR code might not be working. Well, let me drop the link in the chat since the QR code might not be working for some folks, and then I should check in with my team to make sure that QR code is right.
All right, Amanda, if you can hold tight for just 1 minute, we're going to open up. We do have a number of questions for all three of you. So thank you for joining us. And if you can put that link in the chat for folks. Good to see. Thank you for Julie for being right on it. Julie was right on it. We have a very engaged audience here, as you can see. All right, just first thing first, David Gelman had a question for Dorothy before she leaves. He had a question about the number of school buses you have on the road right now, electric school buses.
Okay, so currently we have a fleet of 21 school buses, and we're anticipating 8 additional buses if we get the grant from the Maryland Energy Administration.
All right, sounds good. Working on 8 more. Okay. All right, next. I had a question for Datun. That question was, does your financing also, Brianna, I'm going to be right over with you in 1 second. So Brianna, put your question in the chat, please. The question I had was related to your funding. Do you provide funding for both public sector and private sector, or just private sector?
Currently it's private sector, but right now with the Green Bank facility that we just received specifically for the DC area, we might be able to open it up to public. So I mean, if you reach out to me, I'm just gonna put my email in the chat. Oops, it's supposed to be .co. We can have a more in-depth conversation about that. So right now we're mostly focused on private. But if the opportunity for public does present itself, then we'd be happy to at least have the conversation. And if we can't do it, we have a lot of financing partners that we can refer you to.
The other question I was going to ask, say for example, someone they get a client, they want to get um, some charging stations installed, and the client says, yeah, you can do it, but now who's going to how they're going to finance it? Will you all be able to provide funding for that?
Yeah, so what we've been doing is rolling in the charging infrastructure financing with the vehicle financing. So, let's say you want to put 5 different charging infrastructures around in different locations, but you're not really sure how to do it. Let's say we can say, hey, why don't you think about adding a Chevy Bolt, right? Which is like maybe a $25,000 vehicle into this package, and we will be able to roll it up and fund that.
Okay, awesome. All right, let me see if we have any other quick questions around here. All right, okie dokie. So we're gonna have some limited. Okay, Brianna Campbell said, as the county works to promote walking to when available, has the school district work with the county to install sidewalks and other features needed to help support that effort? Dorothy, that's yours on. You have to unmute, Dorothy.
I'm sorry about that. So
No
the
worries.
question was, is the school district working with the county to install sidewalks?
Yeah, I guess
Okay.
for walkability, for where
Right. So
possible.
it's interesting. So, a lot of planning comes really, we have a Maryland Parks and Planning Commission that's done with them. And incidentally, MDOT, and I know, Amanda, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I know when I was at MDOT, that was one of the things that we worked on, which is safe routes to schools, right?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah, so I wasn't part of that. I knew of the program. So I wasn't part of that, but that is what's needed. We need the transportation folks because obviously state high, the walking paths is controlled under state highway administration. So definitely, I agree that when we do planning, when we do long range planning, we have to include the school system, community residents, the county. It's really a multi-stakeholder effort to get community input.
I'll just chime in real quick. So, like Dorothy mentioned, I don't work directly on Safe Routes to School and sort of our active transportation and micromobility team that does do that. But I work very closely with them. They're sort of, let's say, next door to me. So if you have questions or want to just sort of understand some of that more, I put again my email in the chat, and I'd be happy to follow up and connect you with that team so that you can learn more about what's going on.
That's a great program. In my previous life, I did a lot with that program. That's a really great
Yeah.
program that's been around for a long time. There's another question in the chat. I was wondering about the total number of buses in Prince George's fleet, not just the number of electric. Is the school district also looking at biodiesel as well? I was at I mentioned to start that I was at the fleet office for yesterday for Prince George's County, for the regular county department. And they have a number of biodiesel vehicles and looking to do more. They're not nowhere near as DC government, but they're making some progress there. So wanted to see about the school district using either biodiesel or increasing the different grades of maybe E85 or something like that, as opposed to having these kids riding on all the diesel buses. So can you just share with how many diesel buses you have in the school district? Do you know that number at all?
Yeah, I
Or
have to say, not off the top of my head. I know we have a transportation director who would know those numbers. But what I can say though, because the focus has been on, implementing what's in our climate action plan, and that has been largely focused on the electrification of the fleet. And I think the deadline is by 2045. But we all know that again, it's an aspirational goal. We're going to work towards it, but things happen along the way that prevent us. But I do know, speaking with the transportation director, that we are looking at all options, right? So because it's first of all, electric buses are very expensive, right? So it's going to take us over time to kind of get to that number. So in the interim, we will look at alternative sources as well.
yes, and I'll make sure I bring that up at a couple of the
Yeah,
climate
definitely.
meetings as well.
Yeah.
All right. So we only have a few minutes left. I want to give each of our panelists a chance to give uh, 1 minute closing remarks. So we'll start with Amanda, and then we'll go to Dorothy, and we'll end with Dot. Is it
Sure, just
Dot? Yeah. Dot Tune.
yeah,
I'm not
just
killing his name. All right.
just thanks for having me, and my door is open. Please feel free to reach out via email, and I'd be happy to connect you with the right folks so you can learn more about what we're trying to do with the state and how we're trying to make sure our communities have safe and sustainable transportation. Thanks.
And I'll echo that as well. Thank you for having me on this panel. And my door is also opened. And I would just want to say that historically, school districts have not necessarily been engaged in sustainability and climate action. I mean, we live in a very progressive state, which is Maryland, but a lot of the laws or things that we have to follow or comply with essentially have been for state agencies and others. We've been exempt. The school system has been exempt, but very, very grateful for our school board who has the vision to say, well, hey, we have a large footprint as well. So I think it's important that the school districts start, involving and engaging in climate solutions. And it's also an opportunity for our kids, right? The leaders of the future to start learning about these things. So one of the things that is actually also part of the climate action plan that I'm working with other departments on is how do we engage students in climate action solutions and sustainability. So looking at, internships, apprenticeships to get the students involved, and also incorporating it into the curriculum and programming for academics. So just wanted to say that we will, as a school system, have to do more, and we are working on it.
All right. We'll go to Dot Tune. Did I
Yeah,
get your
there it
name
is.
right?
You got it. Yeah, you
Dot
finally,
Tune.
it only takes a couple.
All right. All right.
Well, yeah, thank you, everyone. Once again, to make this transition equitable, we want to get involved with as many small businesses out there. It's going to be the small businesses with these vehicles that will help enable, the future that we all want. So a couple of things. We're open to DC, Maryland, all around the country. So if you're interested in transitioning one or all of your fleet to electric, let us know. We have our crowdfunding campaign that's ongoing. So if you want to be part of it from a business structure, we have that available as well. Or if you want to write a big check, Mike, we're also looking for that as well. So, but thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Before we wrap up, do have just a couple of things. I did see our new fleet manager on from Prince George's County, Lydia. I'm not sure if Lydia is able to just say hello to the folks. One of our local fleet managers. Lydia, are you able to unmute, or is she just
I
in listen?
am. Yes. Hi.
How are you today? How's it going?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good, good. It was great seeing you yesterday, and I just wanted to give you an opportunity to say hi to the folks and let them know that you're part of the team, and we're going to come do a lunch and learn at your place, hopefully over the summer.
Oh, definitely. Hi, everyone. I'm Lydia Bird. I'm the communication specialist at Clean Transportation Coalition Western Connecticut. And I'm really excited to be here and continue to be a part of the team and bring some of the work we're doing at our coalition here.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. And I want to also go over to Lydia Monroe is on as well. Lydia, are you able to say anything from Prince George's County?
Hi, Antoine. So I go by LP for short, and thank you for having me. I'm here with Mr. Bob Overstreet, my fuel and logistics manager, and we've been quite engaged. Thank you.
Thank you. Really excited and looking forward to us coming out to bring all the team out to Prince George's County to do a nice little lunch and learn and see all the great work that you all are doing in the county, so in Maryland. So thank you for being here. So last thing I want to mention to everyone, let's give our virtual hand clap to all of our speakers for today. All right. Last thing I want to say is register for July 9th for the GWRCCC Ron Flowers golf tournament, which will take place on July 9th. I will have vehicle display. We're looking for sponsors. We got a wine tasting, golf clinic, team. So sign up, sign up, sign up. Make sure you register today. Lastly, if you are hiring May 21st, we have a job fair. We're going to have over 500 people. If you have training programs, if you're looking for workers, looking to get some upskilling for your workers, stop by as well. Without further ado, I want to thank our team, and we apologize for the Zoom bombing that went on. We'll make sure we correct that for our next meeting. You all take care and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.